Our wild day continues. That was crazy down there today.
Oh, I was feeling for you.
It was fun, though. It's an interesting situation. Sometimes strange news is good news for the news business.
Yeah, I just hope that people outside of Michigan aren't going to sit there and go, oh, Detroit screwed up again. They can't even have asphalt track right, you know, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully the fact that they at least finish the race in 60 laps, at least it makes it palatable for the country, because it was kind of embarrassing.
Oh, big time. We've touched on it already in this show, but the bottom line to me is that it's just too many races. Among other things, you can't run 4 series on a track on streets that aren't used to carrying speed of that, that great speed.
Yeah.
What can you do? Lesson learned, and hopefully they fix it by next year. Other things to talk about, though, starting with the Tigers, which are of much more concern to the people in this town, no question about it.
Absolutely, and not a good week. I mean, they go to Boston, win 1 out of 4. They come back home, play horrible on Friday. With, Casey Crosby pitching his first game, can't get the ball over the plate in the second inning. And then last night they win the game, Cabrera, those 2 monster bombs, but still it was like, after what Valverde did in the 9th inning, it was almost like, oh my God, we were lucky to win that game. So you had to feel really good. You got by Saturday night, you got Verlander going today, and he just was horrible. I mean, by his standards, okay?
But 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 2 of the games he didn't pitch well. Now, he gives up a home run to Jeter on the first pitch of the game. And afterwards, he basically said, the fact that the MAG ceremony ran a little long, 8 minutes was kind of, threw me off a little bit. Come on, Justin, you're too good to even if you actually felt that way, never mention that. That's a lame excuse.
In his defense in this regard, and I ultimately agree with you, pitchers are in routines, and pitchers get on the clock, and they know when to start warming up and everything else, but he should have overcome it. But he did give up the home run on the first pitch, so he was obviously thinking about it at that time.
Which was wrong. And, the bottom line is you still have a team that can't hit when they have to. They're a little bit banged up. I don't want to use that as an excuse either, because you look at some of the other teams in baseball, Philly, the Yankees, Boston, Tampa, go on and on. Teams that have injury situations much worse than the Tigers. And look, they have 6 games coming up this week with the state of Ohio. 3 with the Indians here and 3 with the Cincinnati Reds. Interleague play continues. If they don't win 4 games, they're in trouble. And I mean serious trouble. The early thing, that doesn't wash anymore. This team is playing bad, and they're letting themselves down. They're letting the fans down. It's an embarrassment right now.
Well, let's turn the page to a more positive topic, and that is not that he retired, but the fact that Nicholas Lidstrom certainly deserves a lot of adulation as he goes out. What are your memories, maybe the top memories of your time covering Nicholas Lidstrom's career?
Just the fact he was always there to talk, not the most exciting guy in the world, but always class, addressed you by name if he knew you, and he was just a great, great player, the second best defenseman I ever saw. And I got a lot of heat with people because I thought Bobby Orr was better, so be it. But I think Lidstrom, he's going to be missed. He's not an all-star anymore, so to speak, as far as, first team Norris Trophy, but he's still a very good player. They could definitely use him next year, so we'll see how that happens. And, the epitome of class for Nicholas Lidstrom in today's paper. Him and his wife, they take out a full-page ad thanking people, thanking the fans, and thanking them for the great time they had in Detroit. So, pretty cool.
Pure class all the way around. Stonehead of the Week is going to take a little time, and I'm going to give him an opportunity to say what he wants to say. Go for it.
The Stonehead of the Week goes to the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig. Because Bud Selig says, instant replay, we don't need it expanded anymore. Well, Bud, did you see the Tigers game earlier in the week? The one where Leyden got thrown out, Gerald Laird, the 3rd strike, Welke, one of the worst calls you'll ever see. And then, if that didn't make it worse, how about Friday night?
Don't bring up Beltran. I'm walking out of here.
Santana, you go walk, Mr. Met fan. Your first no-hitter that the Mets have ever gotten is tainted.
Hope you know how to throw to commercial.
I hope I do. Carlos Beltran should have gotten credit for a hit. Instant replay would have proved that the ball was a fair ball. That should not have been a no-hitter. Bud Selig, you don't want instant replay expanded. For that, you are a Stonehead. Now, Tom Leyden didn't like it. Tough bananas. We'll be back with more of the update. Which camera am I looking at? This one, right after this.
Stoney's Stonehead of the Week is brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, the best mortgage bankers. Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.